Good evening, I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sherrod, and welcome to your Monday edition of FSU Weather. Right now it's 80 degrees and we're seeing scattered thunderstorms throughout the Big Bend region right now. Moving from the southwest towards the north part of Tallahassee, we see some thunderstorms, and also in the Valdosta area, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, we're seeing a lot of thunderstorms, and that's because of this cold front that is kind of stalled out right northwest of Tallahassee and going into the other parts of the southeast as well. Looking at our 3-day forecast, this rain is going to continue as we go throughout Tuesday and Wednesday with a 70 and 60% chance of rain. But on Thursday, the front's finally going to move out of our area. Things are going to dry up, and things are also going to heat up a little bit with a high of 90 expected on Thursday. As we go throughout the show, we're going to talk more about the wet pattern that we're seeing throughout the midweek, but also how things are going to dry up as we get towards the end of the week. We're also going to talk about our U.S. Open forecast later in the show as well. I'm going to pass things off to Harrison to talk about the Southeast.
Thanks, Tyler. And across the southeast right now, we're looking at several different conditions you could be having. If you're over in New Orleans, you hadn't had any rain today. It's 93 degrees. Over here in Tallahassee, we're at a comfortable 80 degrees here, which is a welcome change compared to what we have been seeing. And the same story continues across much of the southeast right now as well. Again, those dew points are very high. That's giving us the chance for some showers and thunderstorms to go off. 76 here in Tallahassee, 72 in Atlanta, 74 in Montgomery. Really moist across most of the southeast. A little drier towards North Texas and western Oklahoma, but again, they aren't having to deal with the rain right now either. As we look at those winds, you can see this cold front that Tyler mentioned earlier in the show draped right across our region. You get that northerly flow coming in behind and that southerly flow coming in on the other side. That convergence is what is giving us the chance for some showers right along this cold front here across the eastern portions of the southeast. Zooming in a little bit towards North Carolina, South Carolina, same story is continuing across those regions where that chance for showers and thunderstorms is taking place right now. Across Florida, we do have some sea breeze showers in association with that cold front and the flow you're getting there as well. Through the next 24 hours, that front's not going to move a whole lot here across the Tallahassee area. It will begin to weaken as we get into the next couple of days. However, we are going to keep those rain chances in the forecast for the next couple of days as well. Tonight, our forecast is mostly in the 70s across the southeast. As you get further north into Jackson, Little Rock, Nashville, upper 50s and low 60s for you guys behind that cold front, but 70s with a rain chance here for most of the state of Florida. And then tomorrow across the state of Florida, 80 degrees. The rest of the southeast, upper 80s, low 90s depending on where you are. El Paso, 91 degrees tomorrow, so you're the hot spot of the region. But for now, we're going to go ahead and pass things off to Tyler for a look at your first local.
Thank you, Harrison. Right now, looking at our satellite and radar, we can see these thunderstorms popping up all throughout the Big Bend region. Zooming into Tallahassee, a lot of our lightning and severe storms are a little bit north of Tallahassee right now, not so much in the downtown area. Moving towards the west, we can see some thunderstorms popping up towards the coast by Red Bay, also towards Dothan, Alabama as well. Moving to the east in Douglas, Georgia, we can see these thunderstorms moving up to the northeast towards Douglas. And then going towards the southern part of the Big Bend region, we can see some storms firing up southwest of Lake City. Not as much rain than the other parts of the Big Bend region. But looking at our rainfall so far for today, still a little bit less than normal, and that's the same story for the month and the year. We haven't been experiencing as much rain as we usually would this time of year. Currently, we're at 80 degrees right now, and as I showed you, we have scattered thunderstorms throughout the area, and these thunderstorms have helped cool us off in Tallahassee at 80 degrees. As we move towards the north in Thomasville and Mulchi, we're a little bit cooler at 77 and 73 degrees. But these dew points are helping keep these storms able to fire up and impact us. These high dew points are making things uncomfortable for us, also giving us the chance for storms. And looking at our heat index, which is what it actually feels like outside, feels very hot in St. Mark's at 100, also in Perry at 100, where they're not experiencing quite as much rain as us. But in Tallahassee, we're getting cooled off by the rain a little bit, so we're a little bit cooler as what it actually feels like at 85 degrees. Looking at the wind associated from this front, we can see the wind coming from the southwest up and towards the Big Bend region. Highest winds are in Perry at 16 miles per hour. In Tallahassee, we're at 7 miles per hour. As we get towards southern Georgia and southern Alabama, the wind speeds are not as much of a factor. And looking at our larger view here, the cold front here is the real reason why we're experiencing these storms in the Big Bend region and throughout the East Coast as well. They're all associated with this front that we have right here. Looking at our next 24 hours, the rain's going to clear out a little bit as we go through the night. It's going to stay cloudy, and as we go to the Tuesday morning, also going to keep the rain out, but as we get towards the afternoon, those storms are going to start firing up again in the Big Bend region. Looking at tonight's forecast, the rain's going to help keep things cool throughout the Big Bend region. 72 in Tallahassee, 73 in Bainbridge, pretty much 70s all throughout the Big Bend region for us. And looking at tomorrow, temperatures are going to stay fairly cool because of the rain and storms as well, with Tallahassee getting up to 85 degrees and Thomasville getting up to 83. And our rain chances in the Tallahassee region are going to stay pretty high tomorrow at 60 to 80%. As we move towards the southeast, it's going to drop a little bit. Also, as we move towards the northwest, it's going to drop our rain chances as well. Looking at our week ahead, the rain's going to stick around until we get towards the Thursday, Friday time of the week, and then rain chances are also going to pick up after that a little bit higher to 20 to 30%. But right now I'm going to pass things off to Harrison with Look at Our National.
Thanks, Tyler. And currently across the United States right now, we're seeing a really broad spectrum of conditions here. Tallahassee, 80 degrees. Look at this. San Francisco, this is really unseasonable right now. 95 degrees out there. You don't see that very often. So when you do, you have to point it out. Phoenix, 106 as well. And then across most of the northern tier of the country, 70s across the Central Plains, across most of the Midwest as well, and the Northeast as well up there. Really, across the Southeast is where most of the moist conditions are across the United States. As you go out west, there's not nearly as much moisture in the air, so that's why we're dealing with a lot of rain, and out there it's a lot hotter and a lot drier. Across the nation, once again, you do have this cold front here and low pressure system draped across the eastern seaboard here. Behind that, you do have drier conditions. One spot, though, El Paso, you guys do have a little bit of rain ongoing at the moment. Across the northeast, you can see this line of storms firing right in front of that cold front and along this warm front here as well across the northeast. That's helping to keep you guys wet up there. We do have flash flood watches up across the Appalachian Mountains here in southwestern Virginia and western North Carolina right now. So if you are in those areas, you do need to watch out for increased rain chances over the next day or so. Here across the southeast, you can tell where the cold front is right now, helping to fire up some of those afternoon thunderstorms that we have been seeing here. And Florida, again, the peninsula, you usually get that this time of year where you do have some rain as well. Across the northern Great Plains, we do have a system starting to make its way into the United States here. That's going to help to kick out the cold front that we're seeing right now and bring us some drier conditions as we get later into the week. Across the west, we do have this clockwise flow around a high pressure system, which is helping to keep things dry and heat up places like San Francisco or Pebble Beach Golf Course. You know we have to throw in those golf references when we can here at FSU Weather. There was an extremely high temperature of 95 degrees at Pebble Beach as well today. With that, you are getting some of those heat advisories and those excessive heat warnings here across most of the western portions of California, as well as portions of Arizona and Las Vegas and Oregon as well. You don't often see that either. As we look at a forecast for the 119th U.S. Open here, really we were warm today, but we will cool off as we get into the next few days here. 76 for Tuesday, 70 for Wednesday, and you continue to drop off into Thursday and Friday, so some really nice conditions are coming for the golf games there. As we look at the next 24 hours or so of your weather, this cold front here does begin to drift off as this next system begins to inject into the United States here. And we will begin to dry out after the next 2 days. So if you're looking to make outside plans, I would do so then. As you look at tonight's forecast across the U.S., you can see where this cold front is right here that we've been pointing out the whole show. We're on the warm side, so 72 degrees with a chance of rain here. But if you're on the back side of it, drier conditions, and we are going to have cooler temperatures there as well. And then tomorrow across the United States, warm out west, not quite as warm for most places as it was today, but then we are going to keep those rainy conditions around here in North Florida tomorrow as well. Now I'm going to pass things off to Tyler for a look around Florida.
Thanks, Harrison. Right now in Florida, we are experiencing higher dew points at 76 in Tallahassee, 74 in Tampa, and it's already fairly warm in the 80s all throughout the Florida region. But these high dew points are making things a little bit more uncomfortable as you go throughout the Florida Peninsula. And we can also see these winds associated with the front here, northerly winds coming down from Alabama, and then as this front right here, you can see the convergence. Sorry, this will look a little bit better. Convergence from the cold front, and you can see the winds are a little bit higher in Tampa at 13 miles per hour, Fort Myers at 10 miles per hour. Looking at the satellite and radar, this cold front is what is helping bring these storms to the Tallahassee region right now. We're also seeing a good amount of storms towards the east coast of central Florida as well. Zooming in a little bit more, a lot of those storms are associated with the Big Bend region are north of Tallahassee, also a little bit more towards the west side, getting towards Pensacola, and also in Panama City as well. Looking at tonight's forecast for the Big Bend region, all throughout, we're going to be in the 70s mostly as we move towards the west, even a little bit cooler, hitting 70 in Crestview and 74 in Destin. And looking towards our northeast and the east coast, we can see those storms starting to finally move off of the coastline in central Florida towards Daytona Beach. We still see some storms firing up north of Jacksonville right now, but those also starting to move off towards the coast right now. Tonight's forecast are going to be 70s all throughout central Florida and northeast Florida, with Jacksonville hitting 72. Looking at South Florida, not much in Miami, a little bit southwest of Miami, we were experiencing some storms. Northeast of Fort Myers, we're really seeing the storms fire up as they move eastward. Looking at tonight's forecast for the region, Miami's going to be pretty warm still at 78. Up in Vero Beach, you're going to be at 72 degrees. Looking at the next 24 hours, those storms aren't really going to go away except for the nighttime hours. The sea breeze and the front working together are helping to keep rain all throughout the Florida region, especially central Florida, as we go towards tomorrow evening. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, we're going to be hitting temperatures up into the 92 in Orlando. It's pretty hot. Fort Myers at 90, a little bit cooler as we go towards the Big Bend region at 85 degrees, and Pensacola will be at 90 degrees. As we move towards the coastline, Jacksonville is going to be at 89, West Palm Beach is going to be at 89, Key West keeping things fairly warm as well at 88 degrees. But right now I'm going to pass things off to Harrison for a last look at our local forecast.
Thanks, Tyler. And right now, across FSU Weather Sim, you can see those high cirrus clouds that you do get sometimes when you've got thunderstorms going on, and a few raindrops across the camera at the moment at your FSU Weather Sim. 80 degrees, scattered thunderstorms across the area, and we do have winds right now out of the east-northeast at 7 miles an hour. We do have a little area of low pressure right over Tallahassee right now. The Weather Prediction Center did put that out on their latest graphic, so you can kind of see this rotation going on right now, counterclockwise flow, and that's helping to spark off some rain as well with that cold front. Currently, where you've had the rain, you've cooled off a whole lot. 80 degrees here in Tallahassee, 77 in Thomasville, where we had rain earlier as well, 89 in St. Mark's, where you haven't been so lucky as to get the rain, and 90 degrees in Bainbridge. It's moist across almost all of the area right now. Bainbridge is a low spot. That reading does look a little suspect. But again, 70s for your dew points, very moist, and that's helping to spark off these thunderstorms across the region. Our heat index, where you've had the rain, you've cooled off a little bit. St. Mark's, you haven't had the rain, so 100 degrees. Perry, 100 degrees, while at 85 here in Tallahassee. So we're feeling a little bit warmer than our current temperatures here, but that's because of all the moisture that we do have in our region. Winds are pretty light across most of the area. One high spot is Perry at 16 miles an hour, 7 here in Tallahassee, 3 in Monticello, and 0s across the board in several other places. Across the nation right now, we do have this cold front draped along the eastern seaboard. Behind that, we do have high pressure, so drier conditions here, and then drier conditions out west where you're dealing with a lot of those heat issues right now. Over the next 24 hours, we are going to see those showers and thunderstorms calm down overnight, as you do expect when you lose that daytime heating, but the model picks up on some sea breeze showers tomorrow along with that cold front, going to help spark off some storms and keep things wet here in the Big Bend region of Florida. Tonight, we are going to drop those rain chances to 30%. Our low will be around 72 degrees, and our winds should stay calm. If you're looking to get out and play some golf tomorrow, do so in the morning. You will have lower rain chances, and your temperatures will be cooler here, 74 degrees at 8 a.m. before warming up in the afternoon. Tomorrow, we'll see a high of 86 degrees, 70% chance of rain, mainly in the afternoon once that sea breeze can get going a little bit here across the Florida Panhandle. And as we look at the week ahead, you'll see the next 2 days we do have those higher rain chances at 70% and 60% for Tuesday and Wednesday before we do begin to dry out, and then we will once again pick those rain chances up Sunday and Monday here in Tallahassee. But once the drier conditions do set in, we are going to see those temperatures come back up into the 90s once again. Well, if you haven't already, please go ahead and follow us at FSU Weather on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as on YouTube where you can watch us live. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching.